a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home.
Hello there, Indigo Red Soldier coming to you live. So, just by show of hands, how many of you still watch television? I know I say I don't watch television very much, but I binge watch today. I binge watch a whole show. So, I guess I'm just trying to figure out how many of you still binge watch like I do. And that show is Netflix Travelers. Now, if you haven't heard of this show, I highly recommend it. It's only got one season out right now, 12 episodes, and the concept is actually really cool. Everything that Netflix has done so far has been pretty cool, and as far as a production company, I really, really enjoy them. That being said, I actually did cancel my Netflix account because I don't watch television that much anymore. Like, I got a Netflix account for December and kind of January now, but like, I'm figuring out that I don't watch as much television as I did before. That being said, when I find something that I like, I really like it, and this show I just fell in love with like from the first episode. And in this show, you have a bunch of people who are time travelers, hence for why they call the show Travelers. And in these travelers, they're coming from a distant future where everything went to hell. Like an asteroid hit the Pacific Ocean and killed millions of people. I want to say billions, but it was millions still. It wasn't. Still, it was enough to basically make the whole world just go into complete disarray to the point where the future generations actually decided to go ahead and send people back in time to change the events of the future. And this is kind of where the show starts up, right? You have 4 different members of a traveler team coming into their bodies. And actually, this is kind of the cool thing about the show, because up until now, everybody has always done time traveling as like you getting in a machine and physically time traveling from one point in time to a different, right? Think Back to the Future kind of, or the Time Machine, or what's another good one? Hot Tub Time Machine. Like, that's 3 of them right there, where you have your body going from the future or from the past into the past or the future. Like, that's the switch. But in this show, they actually do something way cooler, way more creative, and I actually think a lot more logical for what time traveling is really, and what time traveling could really be like. And that's just transferring the consciousness from one person to another. That means, say we have time traveling right now, okay? And I want to travel to, well, okay, then this is kind of another cool thing about the show. It has its limitations. It's not like you can travel from one time to the other to another. No, you have one trip and one trip only, and that kind of makes like the whole show like more real. Like, anyways, I'm rambling, so let me get back into the show. You have a person who is gonna die. They know they're gonna die. This is kind of like one of those limitations they have. They have to know at what point that person died and where they were, so they can like target that person's brain and implant the new person's consciousness into that body. So if you've seen Supernatural, this is kind of what I would call meat suits, right? When a demon or an angel goes into a vessel and just takes over. Pretty much the same concept. Or what's another good one that I could use? Rick and Morty, Roy, in the game Roy. Remember when Morty puts on the helmet and all of a sudden he's like in the body of this little kid and he lives out his whole life? And like, that's a game? I mean, not time traveling, but it's the same concept of how you can manage it. Just taking your idea, your conscious, your awareness, and putting it from one person to the other, in one time to the other. And the reason why I find this really cool is because it's like making me connect dots to other things, like I said, Supernatural and the whole meat suits, devils and angels. As I thought about it, and a lot of what these characters were doing in the show, because I mean, you have to think about it. They're coming from the future to the past, and they have a mission. That's the whole thing. That's one of the whole things about this show. They're from the future, in the past they have a mission and they have protocols, which is like don't contact other traveler teams. Like you are compartmentalized within your teams, or don't kill and don't save a life, which is actually really smart if you're a time traveler, because the butterfly effect is very hard to predict once it starts going into like all that it does. And the show actually plays with it a lot, with how saving a person's life or taking a person's life actually changed the future. And that's kind of how the whole season ends, in fact. And I'm not gonna give it any away. In fact, like even if I tried, I couldn't, because the show is that rich and complicated, and like you just kind of have to watch it to like get it, to like enjoy it and appreciate it actually. But even with that said, like there's still like a lot of things that I have personally seen that I'm very much ecstatic about. Remember how I said that Casey from Tomorrowland was a lot like an Indigo? These characters are a lot like Indigos, and pretty much awakened souls in a way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because since they're coming from a future where everything is chaos, they have so much inner power within themselves. Like, not only are they capable fighters, but they're capable tacticians, thinkers, manipulators, you name it. Like, they are the best of the best, in my opinion. And they also don't take shit from anyone. There's this one character in the show called Carly, who is a traveler. She came into the body of a woman who was a mother, married to a cop who beats her and who's a drunk and beats her. He was gonna kill her, but instead of killing her, the new consciousness, the traveler, came into that body and took over and pretty much changed that whole person's life. And yes, like you see the struggles that come with like taking your inner power within your hands. Like you can see what they're feeling and what they're going through in the show, and that's another beautiful part about it. Because it's not just like making people seem like superheroes, like nothing can hurt them, or they're not human. Like, you know they're human, and you know they have emotions, and you know they're just like you in a way. It makes me want to be like them in a way too. So, well, I want to be a time traveler. I've always wanted to be a time traveler since I saw Back to the Future. But like, I also want to be able to like command my own life like I want. And the reason why I'm bringing this up also is because Netflix in particular, for me, was one of those platforms that really kind of opened me up to growing. Before the show, I actually used to watch a lot on Netflix still, and just went from one documentary to the other to one show to the other. Like, that's one of the beauties about Netflix, that it gives you so much content to get from. I did eventually grow out of it, and that's why I stopped. But I'm seeing that they still keep pumping out good things to make people evolve, in my opinion. So with that said, I'm actually gonna wrap this video up, and I hope you've enjoyed it. This is Indigo Red Soldier telling you to love everybody you can. If you're not doing what you love, do something. I'll see you again tomorrow. Namaste.
There was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home.